Hey, stop right there. Before you scroll past, let me ask you something. Growing up, did your teacher ever tell you this? The Great Wall of China is so massive, it's the only man-made structure visible from space. Yeah, almost every single one of us heard this. It's in textbooks, it's been repeated on TV documentaries, it's practically a certified fun fact that people drop at dinner tables to sound smart. But here's the thing, it's completely false. Not partially wrong, not a little exaggerated, just flat out wrong. And what's even more fascinating, an actual Chinese astronaut, a man from the very country that built the wall, went to space, looked down, and couldn't see it. So how did this myth become one of the most famous facts in the world, and what does the wall actually look like from space? Stick around, because the truth is far more interesting than the myth.
Let's start with a story most of us were told. The Great Wall of China stretches over 21,000 kilometers. That's roughly 13,000 miles. It was built over centuries, starting as early as the 7th century BC and reaching its most famous form during the Ming Dynasty between 1368 and 1644 AD. It's ancient. It's enormous. It's one of humanity's greatest engineering achievements. So naturally, people assumed something this big must be visible from space, right? The claim has been floating around for decades. It showed up in textbooks across America, Europe, and Asia. Travel guides repeated it. Parents told their kids. Teachers taught it as fact. The logic seemed simple. The wall is long, so it must be visible. End of story. But here's where common sense meets science, and common sense loses.
Let's break this down with basic physics, because this is where the myth completely falls apart. When we say visible from space, most people picture the International Space Station, which orbits Earth at about 400 kilometers above the surface. That sounds high, but on a cosmic scale, it's barely a step off the ground. Now here's the key problem. Length is not the same as visibility. The Great Wall is long, yes, but it's only about 5 to 8 meters wide, roughly the width of a small road or a driveway. That's it. Here's a way to think about it. Imagine you're standing on top of a 10-story building and looking down at a strand of human hair on the ground. That's roughly the visual angle of seeing the wall from space. According to optical scientists, the human eye can only resolve an object from 400 kilometers away if it's at least 10 to 20 kilometers wide. The wall is a fraction of that. On top of that, the wall is made of materials, stone, brick, and earth, that blend almost perfectly with the surrounding landscape. There's no contrast, no shine, nothing to catch the eye. So even if your eyesight were superhuman, the wall would simply vanish into the terrain below. This isn't controversial in the scientific community. It's basic visual optics.
Now, let's look at the actual evidence. Not theories, not opinions, but hard facts from people who have been there. Number 1. Yang Liwei, China's first astronaut. In October 2003, Yang Liwei became the first Chinese national to travel to space. Before his mission, many in China were excited. Surely now, finally, someone from the homeland would confirm the legend. He came back, and his answer? He looked, he searched, he could not see the Great Wall. His statement sent shockwaves through China. Schools were forced to quietly revise their textbooks. The Chinese Ministry of Education actually removed the claim from official educational materials, a remarkable admission. Number 2, NASA has addressed this directly. NASA scientists, using high-resolution satellite imaging, have stated clearly that the wall is not visible to the naked eye under normal conditions. There are some satellite photos that claim to show portions of the wall, but only under very specific lighting conditions, at very low orbital altitudes, and using optical zoom technology, not the human eye alone. Number 3. Astronaut Ed Lu. American astronaut Ed Lu, who spent 6 months on the International Space Station in 2003, also confirmed he could not see the wall. He said that while many features of Earth are visible, mountain ranges, rivers, deserts, the wall simply isn't one of them. Number 4. The historical origins of the myth. Researchers have traced the earliest known written version of this claim to a 1932 American publication called Ripley's Believe It or Not, where it was stated as speculation, not fact. Later, in 1938, a British author named Richard Halliburton wrote in a book that the wall was visible from the moon, not just low Earth orbit, which is even more scientifically absurd. And yet, somehow, this speculation transformed into established fact over the next 50 years.
All right, here's where it gets really interesting. Most people, when they hear the wall isn't visible from space, assume that's the end of the story. Myth busted. Move on. But wait, there's a twist most people completely miss. While the Great Wall itself is not visible, other man-made structures on Earth are visible from the ISS with the naked eye. Which ones? Cities. Large urban areas, especially at night, are clearly visible from the International Space Station. The glow of city lights, the geometric grid patterns of roads and buildings, the spread of human civilization, all of it is visible. Beijing, Shanghai, New York, Cairo, these cities light up the planet in ways the Great Wall never could. So the real takeaway is this: modern human civilization, our cities, our highways, our agriculture, has left a far more visible mark on Earth from space than any ancient wall ever could. And there's one more twist that almost nobody talks about. The Great Wall was not built as one continuous structure. Many people picture a single unbroken line running across China, but in reality, the wall is a collection of multiple walls, fortifications, watchtowers, and barriers built by different dynasties over 2,000 years. Some sections are well preserved, others are crumbling ruins. Some exist only on maps. It's less like a wall and more like a system, a strategic network designed to control borders, regulate trade along the Silk Road, and monitor the movement of people and goods. So the Great Wall is simultaneously more complex and less impressive than the myth suggests, and yet, in other ways, far more remarkable than people give it credit for.
So let's bring it all together. For decades, the world believed that the Great Wall of China was the only man-made structure visible from space. It was taught in schools, printed in textbooks, and repeated as undeniable fact. But the truth? No astronaut has ever seen it with the naked eye from the International Space Station. China's own first astronaut confirmed it. NASA confirmed it. Basic optics explain why. The myth was born from a 1932 speculation in a trivia book and spread through repetition until it became common knowledge. This is exactly why history matters. Not the memorized version, not the textbook version, the real, investigated, evidence-based version. Because when you actually dig into history, when you ask, wait, is that actually true? You discover that the truth is almost always more fascinating than the myth. The Great Wall doesn't need to be visible from space to be incredible.
The fact that human beings, thousands of years ago, moved millions of tons of stone and earth across mountains and deserts using nothing but labor, strategy, and determination, that is the real miracle. And that story deserves to be told correctly. If this video made you question something you thought you knew, that's exactly the point. Hit that like button, share this with someone who still believes the myth, and subscribe to Truth Behind History, because we're just getting started.